City of Lawrence Common Council. The meeting is now called to order. Today is Monday, February 7th, 2022. Can everyone please stand for Pledge of Allegiance and prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow close as a group, and nurture the bonds of the community. We ask that you spread your wings and cover our first responders and the work we're about to discuss and do today. We ask these in your name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we have a quorum. Councilor Russell is joining us via Zoom, so we will conduct a roll call vote for any official vote that we have to make for the council this evening. Next on the agenda is comments of council members and special recognitions or resolutions. Do we have any?
Madam President, I have a couple. First of all, I have a public safety, and I'm on the committee. So I wanted to know, the public safety, Orange has the first come up with the body cams. And right now, under state law, public agencies are permitted to charge up to $150 for copies of the law enforcement recordings. So this was stated by the Indy Star. Will Lawrence do the same? And I just want to educate the public here in Lawrence and the process, and when will the effective date be on that? That's number one. And number two, I would like to mention Department of Public Works truckers did a fantastic job on snow removal during the severe snowstorm February the 3rd and 4th. Thank you so much for your time, and heavy-duty equipment got the job done. And number three, I attended the fireman banquet dinner at Daniel's Vineyard on Saturday, February the 5th, and sitting there listening to the response and how they dealt with victims was just so overwhelming, especially with one of our own. The city of Lawrence has truly the best fire department in our community. And the last one, I wanted to welcome a business to Lawrence. Juicy's is located at 10580 Pendleton Pike. It's the former Bob Evans restaurant. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor Samorov, then Councilor Wells.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to say ditto for DPW in the city of Lawrence for the great snow plowing they did. Some of my friends and family were out throughout the city, and they said Lawrence had the best snow plowing of any place they've been. So thank you so much.
Councilor Wells?
Yeah, I'll echo that as well. My district, I don't think that DPW could have done any better job. It was excellent, the amount of the snow plows we've seen come through there. And they did, from what I've seen of the city, they did an excellent job. So very big thank you for the job they've done. Also, I noticed that there were some construction signs going up by the fire station over on Richart on the street signs. If possibly under the comments of the administration, if someone happens to know what's going to happen there, because I've had a couple of constituents call and ask me, and I haven't had a chance to call a DPW. So anyway, if someone knows, I would appreciate hearing from them. Thank you.
Any other counselors? So our go ahead, Councilor Russell.
Madam President, I just wanted to also echo the sentiments for DPW and the great job that they did working all night and all day to keep our streets clean. I also wanted to say that I also attended the firefighter banquet at Daniel's Vineyard, and it was all like just like Councilor Freeman said, it was a really awesome way to hear about all the things that go on that we may not realize for our public safety, and just want to thank the firefighters and congratulate again those who were honored that night and those who also just to acknowledge those who put their lives on the line every single day. Thank you so much for that opportunity to be able to sit and listen and watch and just celebrate you.
Thank you. So all of our counselors are looking wonderful this evening in their beautiful garb in celebration of Black History Month, which started on February 1st. We will celebrate through the month of February as a council. So thank you all. You look wonderful. Next on the agenda, we have approval of minutes of regular meetings, January 3rd and January 19th, 2022. Is there a motion?
I make the motion.
Motion, Councilor Freeman.
I'll second.
Second, Councilor Rusamoroff. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote. Councilor Chevlot,
Yes.
Councilor Denny,
Yes.
Councilor Giles,
Yes.
Councilor Russell,
Yes.
Councilor Wells,
Yes.
Councilor Rusamoroff,
Yes.
Councilor Whitfield,
Yes.
Councilor Freeman,
Yes.
Councilor Chavis. Yes, motion carries unanimous. Next, we have signing of vouchers, approval of claims, and authorization of payment. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Councilor Denny.
Second.
Second, Councilor Whitfield. Any discussion?
Madam Chair, I'd just like to make one comment. There's a charge on there for the pickleball courts, which we discussed, I believe, in December. That's still an encumbered from 21 charge.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion and second. Roll call vote. Councilor Chevlot.
Yes.
Councilor Denny.
Yes.
Councilor Giles.
Yes.
Councilor Russell.
Yes.
Councilor Wells.
Yes.
Councilor Rusamoroff.
Yes.
Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Councilor Freeman.
Yes.
Councilor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Next, we have reports of committees. Finance.
Madam Chair, the Finance Committee is scheduled to meet before the mid-month meeting at 5:30 p.m. So we've not met since our last mid-month meeting.
Okay. Committee of a whole, that's my committee. We will meet after the mid-month meeting, immediately following. Next, we have unfinished business, resolution number 20, 2021.
Resolution 20, 2021, introduced by Councilor Denny, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, providing funding to the Inspire program.
Okay, that is in finance. Next, we have resolution number 21, 2021.
Resolution number 21, 2021, introduced by Councilor Denny, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, providing funding to the Laundry and More program.
That is in finance as well. Next, we have resolution number 23, 2021.
I mean 22, right?
It says 21.
Skip 22.
Oh, I'm sorry, as I was. Resolution number 22, 2021.
Resolution number 22, 2021, introduced by Councilor Russell-Moroff and Wells, a resolution providing funding to the Action Club of the Kiwanis Club of Lawrence.
Okay, that's in finance as well. Resolution number 23, 2021.
Resolution number 23, 2021, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, providing funding to Arts for Lawrence.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw that, and for the record, I'm withdrawing it because we are going to come up with a more formalized process for awarding grants for the city that will be a fair, transparent, and inclusive process. So I'm going to withdraw that at this time. Next, we have Resolution Number 1, 2022.
Resolution number 1, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution to adopt procedures for awarding community service grants for the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana.
Okay, that's assigned to Committee of the Whole. Next, we have Resolution Number 2, 2022.
Resolution number 2, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, concerning retention of Bose, McKinney, and Evans LLP as legal counsel.
Okay, that will be in Finance. Next, we have Resolution Number 3, 2022.
Just had it. Do you remember who introduced that?
Is that Tom, I think? Are you Resolution Number 3, 2022? Are you the sponsor for that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The misplaced the cover
You
sheet.
can read it by title, and then it's
Yeah.
Councilor Shepherd.
Resolution number 3, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, approving the sale of property owned by the Lawrence Redevelopment Commission.
And that will be assigned to Economic Development. Next, we have new business, Proposal Number 2, 2022.
Proposal number 2, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the 2022 Civil Salary Ordinance.
That will be assigned to Finance. Next, we have Proposal Number 3, 2022.
Proposal number 3, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the 2022 Salary Ordinance for appointed officers and employees of the Police Department and Fire Department.
That will be assigned to Finance as well. Next, we have Proposal Number 4, 2022.
Proposal number 4, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a proposal for an ordinance to appropriate from the ARP Coronavirus Local Physical Recovery Fund for purposes that fulfill the intent of the American Rescue Plan Act.
That will be assigned to Finance as well. Next, we have Resolution Number 4, 2022.
Resolution number 4, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a resolution to adopt a spending plan detailing the use of funding provided under the American Rescue Plan.
That will be assigned to Finance as well. Next, we have comments of the administration.
Madam President, members of council, I just wanted to start by responding to Councillor Wells' question on the signs. That's actually the last of Indy's DPW stormwater project that's going on I believe, 47th and 48th Street, west of 48, I believe.
Do you have any idea what the duration of that might be?
I do not. That's something that I can check with Scott then probably get back to you with that.
Please. Thank you.
Also just wanted to state that the administration wanted to bring to the council's attention that there are several time-sensitive agenda items that need deliberations between the council leadership and the controller's office. And just to put things in perspective, there is an additional appropriation procedure that must be followed for all appropriations, including the ARP budget that you all have received today. This has been indicated on a memo that was sent by the controller earlier on today. I also just want to highlight a few sentences on that memo. So it says, the fiscal body must give notice of their proposed additional appropriation, and they must hold a public hearing in accordance with Indiana Code 531-2B. The publication must occur no less than 10 calendar days before the public hearing on the proposal. So I was glad that Councillor Danny and I had a conversation this afternoon, and we both agreed on the sensitivity and the urgency of these agenda items. And as such, we were able to schedule a meeting for the 10th, and hopefully we'll be able to accomplish a lot more from that. As you are all aware, there was what appeared to be a communication breakdown between the council and leadership last year, and the end results were catastrophic, to say the least. But I'm standing here in front of you today, and I just want to let the entire council know that I'm here on behalf of the administration and willing to provide any support needed to ensure a cordial working relationship between the council and the administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have citizens' comments. And if you haven't signed in, does anybody intend to speak that did not sign in? Okay, great. Maybe you can't speak. I don't know.
That's not the first time that has happened.
Yeah.
And
Curtis, it
please,
takes it a minute.
as we're preparing, if you could please just state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Madam President. Robert Schlafer, 10423 Rainbow Lane. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'd also like to thank the residents that are joining us today. I understand a lot of residents were not able to attend, but I trust you know who they are. They're the people that are affected by the Lawrence Stormwater Master Plan. They're your constituents, and they are concerned about the progress that's not being made. As you know, Lawrence had been paying for years to the Marion County Stormwater District, and none of our projects were getting done. Over a year ago, this council acted, and they acted to remove Lawrence from the Marion County Stormwater District and create the Lawrence Stormwater District. Now stormwater fees are received locally, and decisions can be made locally. These fees must be used for the work of the Stormwater District. They cannot be used for any other purposes. In 2018, a group of top priority projects were identified in a master plan. And in 2021, that master plan was vetted and updated accordingly. The city engineering department worked with the Lawrence Stormwater Board to develop an approach to accomplish these high priority projects. The Stormwater Board adopted a declaratory resolution declaring a need to issue bonds to address the high priority projects. The Stormwater Board then adopted a confirmatory resolution confirming the need to issue bonds, and then adopted a bond resolution as well. By a vote of 3-1, the Finance Council approved the bond resolution. The last step in the process was to bring it to you, the Common Council, to approve the bond resolution, where in November of last year, this council voted not to adopt the resolution. After much discussion, Councilor Denny summarized some key points. The work by the city engineer and the Stormwater Board is high-quality work. Mr. Bosna is recognized as one of the finest bond attorneys in the state, and he put together a quality bond resolution for you. A resolution that ensures commitments to Indianapolis are met, ensures that maintenance funds are allocated, including rate increases across the years, and provides for the cost-effective use of issuing revenue bonds that has no financial impact on taxpayers. And this council voted not to approve the resolution, suggesting we should pay cash or break the projects up over 20 years, just further delaying the implementation. As a former director of engineering of a Fortune 50 company, I believe some significant points were missed. It has to do with the options of paying cash, breaking up the projects, and further delaying implementation. All of these options have implications of increased cost. Let's review. For systems that are in the condition of these priority projects, the rate of degradation is not linear, it's exponential. Let me explain. Systems in poor conditions like these don't degrade, say, 1% a year, 1% a year. Rather, it's exponential degradation. They can degrade at 3%, 5%, 12% a year at a rapid pace because of the state that they're in. So by stretching out the timeline, the cost becomes exponentially greater. And in the basic example of paying cash and taking 20 years to complete, the cost to deal with the exponential incremental degradation of these systems will overwhelm the finances, and the possibility of ever getting to projects 13, 14, and 15 will be at significant risk. Even if future bond costs were flat and future materials costs were flat, the longer you delay, the cost of these projects increases exponentially. Stretching out the timeline also consumes valuable maintenance dollars spent on dilapidated systems, where those dollars could otherwise be spent maintaining our other systems so they don't fail in the future. And breaking the projects up will lose economies of scale in the bidding process. And there's another thing. The impact of delays is not only these incremental costs, but the cost to your constituents in the form of flooded basements, crawl spaces, and garages. Sump pumps that continually run and recirculate water because the water doesn't move off of their property. Standing water in culverts that become stagnant, breeds mosquitoes, despite the efforts of the Marion County Mosquito Patrol. Mature trees that die due to waterlogged soil that these residents end up having to pay to cut down. And impassable roads and driveways well after rain events. And deteriorating property values. This council was delivered a high-quality implementation plan to complete these stormwater priority projects. Your constituents have paid their stormwater assessments. You have the money, and it can only be used on stormwater projects. It's totally reasonable for all to demand that this council does the right thing on behalf of your constituents and gets these projects funded in the next 30 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Rick Broadus. Please step forward and state your name and address for the record. And each constituent that comes up to make comment, please limit it to 5 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Rick Broadus. I live at 7316 Rainbow Lane North. I'd just like to say that, and I appreciate you letting me come up here and talk about this, but I moved into where I live now in 1997. I've been dealing with this for like 23 years. It floods my front yard every time it rains real heavy and never goes away for weeks at a time. It's killed some big trees in my yard. I can't go out and cut my grass. I get stuck in my yard. the water just sits around. And sometimes, just like about a week before the last snow, the road was completely flooded over between my home and my neighbor across the street, just flooded over 6 inches high above the concrete, or the asphalt on the road. It's deteriorating the road. It's cracking up and breaking in places. It's just, it's not good for my property value or my neighbors. And then, like Ron had mentioned, the mosquitoes and the safety, and it just goes on and on. And I think it's been about 5 or 6 years ago that we were actually here and we showed pictures and photographs, and we thought that something might get done then. And so it just seems like it just keeps dragging on. And I'd like to see you guys vote for us to do something. We really need your help. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dan Rust.
Hi, good evening. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak. I live at, my name is Dan Rust. I live at 7365 Rainbow Lane. I just want to echo the sentiments that Rob and Rick have both stated so far. We have a water issue down there, and it would be nice to see that fixed. My little girl likes to ride her bicycle down there. I know there's other kids in the neighborhood to do the same thing. And I've seen kids fall off their bicycles into the water just trying to get through that road. I'd just like to see it fixed, and I hope you guys will take care of that for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Jason Schlafer.
Jason Schlafer. I live at 10339 Colville Lane. I own the property at 7440 Rainbow Lane. That particular piece of property is an empty lot, and I'd like to build a house on it. I like to invest a lot of money. If you drive down Rainbow Lane, you'll see that Rob Schlafer has invested quite a bit of money into his home. I plan to do the same thing as someone who's spent decades in construction and seen redevelopment happen and been part of neighborhoods that have had increased values by people stepping out and spending that particular money to on their own. I want to be another one of those people that does that for that piece there. I've seen this work in downtown Indianapolis. I've seen it work in Old Town Carmel. I've seen it all over the place. And I see particular spots like that area that could be another area that redevelops. But when you have neighbors here that are concerned about their property values as is and spend tons of their money trying to move this out of the way, it's just not acceptable. I watched personally my father spend tens of thousands of dollars simply just to move water to the street. Because when I sat here at the meeting the last time, when you guys approved to remove yourself from Indianapolis, you said that it was the residents' responsibility to move the water to the culvert. He has done that, and it's still not happening. I want to build a house, but I refuse to build a house and spend tens of thousands of dollars for something that adds literally no value to my house. It only maintains the value. I want to spend that money so that for a house that, for my family and for, and I'm concerned about the safety issue too, like the standing water, mosquitoes and such of that this little girl right here is going to live in that house, and I don't want to see her have to deal with any of that. She shouldn't have to. So I ask that you follow through, that we make movement on this in 30 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jeff Kiesling.
I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me.
And last, we have Christina Vasquez.
My name is Christina Vasquez, and I live on 0520 Rainbow Lane. And just echoing all my neighbors, we have a basement in that same area, and it constantly gets flooded. My husband has done everything. Like, we have sealed lots of areas on the basement, extended our gutters, even tried to improve the grade on our property, and it's still a big problem, and we could dump more money into it, but we would really appreciate it if we would be heard and that these problems would be And there's literally like a pond that forms in our yard, in the front yard, or in the side of our house. And the mosquitoes are super bad. Like, that's not just something, but we have tons of mosquitoes in the summertime, and so, which has to do with all the water that's just sitting back in our property. So we would really appreciate it if you would hear us out. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have for citizens' comments. We're adjourned.